All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? This is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesday. It's here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. I would like to welcome you to a Teachable Tuesday Shorts, where in under 5 minutes, or really 5 minutes or less, I give you a topic of discussion that's on my mind, or a topic of discussion that you guys brought up that may not necessarily been featured in the traditional Teachable Tuesdays video. And today is going to be a very quick one, and we are going to be talking about hurricane/tropical storm prep. Or maybe I should say that backwards. Tropical storm/hurricane prep. Anyways, for those who don't know, currently by the time of this video, Florida is under a hurricane warning. Tropical storm warning and hurricane warnings, most of Florida, for Hurricane Ian. The date of this recording is actually September 28th. The reason why I'm saying the date is because I don't want to freak anybody up. Like, oh my gosh, Florida got a hurricane today. I didn't know about it. No. If you watch this video after September 28th, we're probably good. But I wanted to talk to you guys about some hurricane tips and, some do's and don'ts when it comes to tropical storms and hurricanes, no matter where you live. Now, first and foremost, you should know if you live anywhere on the East Coast or within the Gulf, or even on the West Coast, although not as likely on the West Coast, you should always have a hurricane kit prepared. Now, here's some of the things that you need in your hurricane kit. First thing you need is a first aid kit. You never know, God forbid you or your family gets hurt. Really, you should have a first aid kit in general, but you should have an extra first aid kit in your hurricane kit. I actually have 3 first aid kits in general in my life. I have one at my school for my students. I have one for me, personal one at home, and I have one for emergencies as far as, anytime the power may go out, hurricane, thunderstorm, stuff like that, whatever, right? Also, you should have non-perishable items. If you live by yourself, you should have enough non-perishable items to last you for, at minimum, a week, just in case power goes out. If you live with a family, I'm going to say 2 weeks, because obviously the more people you live with, the more food that's going to go, okay? I know me, I have non-perishable items that last me up to about a week and a half. And I went out and got some more items this morning and got mad because I realized I had a whole extra box of items at home, but I guess you can never be too careful, right? So make sure you have your non-perishable items. Make sure you have a flashlight with batteries. If the power goes out, especially if you live in a really big house, you're going to want to be able to not be stumbling around in the dark, you know what I'm saying, if it's at night. If it's during the daytime, even then, you got to be mindful. And it seems like the winds are kind of cranking up a little bit because it could be really dark outside, just saying, right? Especially if there's like heavy thunderstorms. Make sure you have a radio on you. Battery powered radio, solar power radio, it doesn't matter. Just some form of a radio that you can run and you don't have to plug up. That way, if the power goes out, you can be listening out for alerts. One thing that I learned from my homie Big Dog Dre Day, shout out to him. He's stationed out in Alabama, a radio station. I can't think of the name of the channel right now. But when he was living here in Orlando, I remember me and my boy Dez went to go visit him at the radio station. And he was telling me like what would happen if there was ever a hurricane, like when we had Hurricane Maria a couple years ago. And he was talking about how the radio stations, they have like a backup generator and they stay running so that way they can give, updates to any local residents that stay behind. So I thought that was pretty cool. So you're always going to get updates from your radio station. If nowhere else, make sure you stay on your radio. If you have a portable charger, which is the next thing you're going to need, you can get radio updates from your phone. There's apps that have the radio on it. Your phone should really automatically have the radio on it. If it doesn't, you can definitely download the radio app. Which again, next thing, make sure you have a portable charger. Our phones are important if the power goes out. Hopefully the lines are not down. As long as the lines are not down, you should still be able to communicate with people. And if there's ever an emergency, you need to reach out to 911. Now, something I just learned this morning from a friend of mine is that if you're in an evacuation zone and mandatory evacuation zone, you don't evacuate, emergency personnel will not come to you. I'm not sure how true that is, but if that is true and you're under a mandatory evacuation route, then it's best for you to just leave if at all possible, okay? But that's for a little bit later on. And I'm sorry, this video might go over 5 minutes. It's going to be a little longer than I thought, but I think this is important for all of us to know. Currently, if you're in Florida at the time of this video, it might be a little too late if you don't already have what you need, but for future references, okay? Next thing you'll need in your hurricane kit make sure you have water, okay? Have plenty of water. I'm looking at right now, I have about 7 gallons of water. Wish I had a little bit more, but that's not bad for where our storm is at and whatnot. You need drinking water, obviously. You need water to fix certain types of foods if the power goes out, right? You need water for bathing if the water stops running. Here's another tip. I would say fill your bathtub. Now, I know some people would say don't fill your bathtub because the bathtub is dirty. I'm not saying fill your bathtub to bathe. I would say fill your bathtub for when you need to flush the toilet. Because if the water goes out, you need to put some water inside the toilet, not like in the bowl, but on the top part. Mom taught me about that a long time ago. That way you can still flush the toilet whenever you use the restroom. Now, obviously, if you're taking a number one, you probably won't have to do it as often. But if you're taking anything other than that, then yeah, go ahead and get that prepared. You know what I'm saying? So you got your water, first aid kit, food, radio. I think I said batteries. If I didn't say batteries, make sure you have extra batteries. That's important too. If you have pets, make sure they are inside. I know sometimes dogs sleep outside, or your dog might like to go outside a lot. So I would say, if possible, have something that your animals, obviously for cats, it doesn't make a difference. But if you have a dog, have somewhere where they can use the restroom. It might be too dangerous to go outside. But if you have a place where your dog can use the restroom, an area, then, some form of material where it won't affect your home, then, do that. Make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, this part is not a part of the hurricane kit, but I think this is important. Wow, those winds are blowing now. I hear the wind gusts, the howling and everything. Oh, my goodness. Kind of scary when you listen to it. So make sure you have any electrical stuff that you need to get done, finished before a storm hits, because when you have a tropical storm or hurricane, there's definitely a possibility of power outages. It doesn't matter what categories. It could literally be a low-end 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It's still a chance for power outage. Power outs. I can't even get my words together right now, y'all. Ooh, Lord. So definitely make sure you have that together. Really, really important. Right now, I'm currently drying my clothes. I just finished washing and drying my dishes in the dishwasher. After I'm done recording this video, I'm actually going to charge my phone because I think the heavy thunderstorms are expected to come around 2 o'clock. I want to make sure everything is fully charged and be ready. My laptops, my work laptop, my personal laptop is charged. That could be another backup just in case I'm out for power for more than I expect. So yeah, make sure all that's good. Make sure all of your belongings are outside of your house or apartment or inside. When it comes to tropical storms and hurricanes, it doesn't matter how sustained the winds are. You can have debris flying at different places. You want to be very careful. It's going to be outside debris in general because nature, you don't want anything that's not a part of nature flying around, because sometimes that can be worse than what nature has to bring to you. You know what I'm saying? I think there's one more thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, if you're not highly elevated, especially in this case, we're supposed to get like 10 to 15 inches of rain, which is crazy. I would highly advise you get sandbags. If your apartment complex does not allow you to use sandbags, this is your next best scenario. Put towels in front of your door. I know that seems kind of weird, but your main goal is to make sure you don't have water rushing in. If anybody lives in a complex much like mine, especially in the state of Florida, in the state of Florida, our drainage systems suck. They suck donkey butt. It's horrible. So I know my complex, our drainage system sucks. I mean, I walked out this morning and I noticed the complex was already slightly flooded. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like around this afternoon, this evening time, when we're getting 3 to 5 inches of rain, plus more than that. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have sandbags, keep something by your door, not on the outside, but on the inside of your door. Like, I got a whole bunch of towels on the inside of my door, just in case it starts flooding, God forbid, even the slightest. I have something to kind of catch the water, even if it's for a short period of time. All right. And other than that, I think that's about it. I don't think I left anything else out. I'm sorry. I know this was supposed to be a Teachable Tuesday short. It went longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think this information is very important. If there's anything that I left out, please drop a comment below. Give the video a like. Feel free to share it. Hurricane season, remember, is live in full effect from May all the way until the end of December. I believe it's I could have my dates wrong. If I have my dates wrong, forgive me. But I believe it's May 1st all the way until November 30th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I said that backwards. Maybe it's May 30th to November 1st. Either way, hurricane season is pretty much May to November. So you're going to need this information if you live anywhere on the East Coast, even if you're not necessarily on the outskirts, like the coastline, you're still going to need this information. If you live anywhere on the Gulf, so Louisiana, Texas, you're going to need this information. If you live anywhere on the West Coast, you might not need this information as much because the likelihood of you guys getting hurricanes and tropical storms directly other than Mexico is a low chance. But still keep this in mind because it can happen and it has happened throughout history. And with the way the weather is changing these days, you never know. And also, even if it's not necessarily for a hurricane or a tropical storm, this could be something very useful that you could have in the general sense for just whenever you have bad storms. Oh, there's one more thing that I want to mention. Almost forgot. If the wind racks up a little bit too much, or if you are under a tornado warning, right now we're under a tornado watch. That's why it's important. Keep your radios on you just in case your phone goes out. The best place for you to go, remember, is especially if you're in the state of Florida. Now, if you're in the state of Florida, best place for you to go, since we don't have basements, which is crazy, but below sea level, would be a place that has no windows. All right. In my case, my apartment, best place for me to go to if we, God forbid, tornado warning, the bathroom. There's no windows. It's an area in which I can hide. Now, if you do live in a state other than Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, all that good stuff further up, then the best place for you to go to if there is a tornado warning, go to your basement, okay? Go to your basement, ride it out until the tornado warning subsides. I don't care if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I know there are times where it can be crazy, but still, just be mindful. And I'm not saying this to try to scare anybody, but these are things that come along with tropical storms and hurricanes. You have the possibility of flooding. You have the possibility of wind damage. That wind damage can include tornadoes. You have the possibility of severe thunderstorms, which can produce hail, which also produces tornadoes. Okay, so, you know, all of these things are just to be mindful to make sure that you're prepared, make sure you're staying safe. All right. Anyways, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesday. It's going to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. I thank you for joining me today for what was supposed to be a Teachable Tuesday Shorts. But obviously, this is not a Teachable Tuesday Shorts. And this is a much, much longer video. So anyways, stay safe. Like I said, if you're currently watching this video on September 28th in the state of Florida, I hope you are indoors. I hope you are being safe. If this is after September 28th, not just for the state of Florida, but for all the United States, no matter where you live, especially if you're in the East or the West Coast or in the Gulf. I hope this video was very informational to you. And if I left anything out or if I had any wrongful misconceptions, feel free to list them in the comment below because I'm no expert. You know, I'm just basically stating things from my experiences. I've been through a few tropical systems, so I know a little something, but there's still a lot that I don't know because I'm no expert. Love you guys. Be safe. Talk to you soon.